set, Snarf.
Wow. So we're back, part 6, Payback. Our pre-review of it, which is my favorite match in the card. So I'll let you guys talk first because I talk a lot. That being the Vuad Villains versus Enzo and Cass.
It's the Vuad Villains versus Enzo and Cass in a #1 contenders tag team match
Sponsored by
Vuad. They make sure you ain't booty.
So yeah. Opinions on this. I have a ton of things, so I'm going to step back just for the moment.
I thought when the Vaud Villains happened, it was
See, I love their gimmick, and I loved it on NXT. It's going to be interesting to see how well it goes on the main roster, because early on it was not doing so well. Though at the same time, they didn't really give them any chance to explain it at all, which, that certainly never happens to NXT members with weird gimmicks that get brought up to the main roster with no explanation, like Bo Dallas.
But they gave Aiden English a chance to cut the promo.
Yeah, when they actually, they started actually explaining what the hell their deal is, which was the genius of that last promo on Raw, where Enzo and Cass didn't say a lot because they didn't need to, because they've already talked their piece. The New Day was there to officiate everything, which was a fun role for them. And you actually got to see the Vaud Villains explain their gimmick.
Ultimately, this wins on so many fronts with me. Tag team wrestling has long been my favorite. Growing up, I wasn't like the Hogan kid. I wasn't the Ultimate Warrior kid. I love the Rockers. And through the years, it's like the Dudley Boys. I've always loved the Dudley Boys. I like tag team wrestling. It's fun. I think it allows, as I grew older and started to realize more went into wrestling, I think it allows guys to perform at their best without having to be superstars per se, I guess. You can tag in and out, you can let guys rest that way, you get more flow.
Well, you can have two totally different kinds of matches at the same time. And also it can work as a great way for people who are rougher on the edges to still be up near the top of the card before they're ready for a solo.
You can build a giant pop in the middle of the match too.
Yeah.
Like if you've got Cass hasn't been tagged in for half the match.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he gets tagged in and the crowd's giant pop.
And I like both tag teams. Vaud Villains, love them. I love the gimmick. It's so fucking sweet.
The fact that they said, let's do this, and the fact that Simon Gotch so is that character, everything that he's on the network, he never breaks.
Yep. And you know what? This match to me is some of the finest of what you have to offer, and it's sad because it's NXT, but
that in and of itself is something worth mentioning because the whole angle leading in where it's Shane totally running things, the fact that they're actually both of these teams just came up within the month, and both of them are in a fairly heavily featured match on their pay-per-view.
Right.
And it's one of the matches that all of us are that's...
What is, you have the Vaud Villains who, in the ring, they're pretty good. And I wouldn't say they're great in the ring, but they're pretty good.
They've had some really good matches. The weird thing is the matches they've had thus far have not been some of their best work, which probably isn't helping them get over with people.
I like the gimmick. I think that the Vaud Villains very good on the mic. Incredibly good. Then you take Enzo and Cass. Once again, I don't think that they're necessarily amazing in the ring. They're very good.
But together they're way greater than some of their parts.
Yeah.
Well, and the big thing is honestly you stick a microphone in Enzo's hand and
that's
magic kind of happens.
Yeah.
He could he can get by on that alone. Much like The Rock. The Rock is pretty okay in the ring, but he's not as great as people blow him up to. But he is a talker.
And then you add in New Day, who to be fair, I love the New Day, and part of it was because they were the tag team. They don't let the Dudley Boys do what the Dudley Boys do, so they were the tag team that actually made sense in WWE. But you have them now, and it's starting to burn on me a little bit. It's starting to get old.
You know what excites me about this match more than the actual teams competing in it?
Bootios.
Well, obviously, but New Day will likely be doing commentary.
Yeah.
Which means less JBL.
That's true.
And
And we'll actually get a match that's called.
It's a tag team match between teams that I enjoy, which will probably be commentated by people who aren't JBL.
Who?
Yeah, no, it's you know what, the resurgence of tag team wrestling in WWE is like, I'm like disarrect. I'm very into it.
Well, it's like it's one of those things that even more than anything else shows that it's probably Triple H getting more control behind the scenes, because that was always the thing where it's like tag team wrestling was all but dead on the main show, but NXT it was very much vibrant.
Yeah,
and as soon as Shane took over, you've seen the most push.
Well, and long before we started this channel, Yoda and I discussed just tag team wrestling and what was going on in NXT and how nothing was going on the main roster. And we kept thinking that maybe we're going to see this kind of resurgence of it, and it wasn't happening, and now we're seeing it. And I like that. You know, it's one of those, you can make the tag titles matter, and make them matter not by having New Day fight, wrestle against, we're going to wrestle the Usos.
Time.
Mm-hmm.
Every pay-per-view, since evidently the Dudley Boys don't get a title shot, it's just the Usos and the Usos and the Usos. And now the thing is,
hey, the Brass Ring Club had it for a while, and then
yeah,
injury-prone Tyson Kidd.
Yeah. And you know what?
Samoa Joe kills him.
Ultimately, though, I
think
this is going to be a really good match.
Stuff happens, man. Stuff happens.
I think that this could be one of the longer matches.
Yeah.
Because you got 4 guys that can definitely go for a while, and that can also keep it entertaining.
Yeah, and it's you're trying to feature them. You're trying to make tag team wrestling matter. It's also the first match for a lot of people where you're going to see these 2 teams go up against each other. You've got the New Day out there too. It's something that's,
you're taking some of the biggest things.
Unless this is going to be another Ambrose street fight thing where I expect it to go long and then they shut it off in 10 minutes. I feel like this one probably will get a fair amount of time.
It's either going to be the 4 minutes, this didn't make any sense, or it'll be an easy match.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to watch regardless. I will get the awesome production quality for the Vuad Villains entrance.
Yeah. Oh man, if they come out like a Model T.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
There's so many things you can do with that gimmick.
It's so fun to me.
Like the sad thing is, like back years before they were a thing, one of my fake characters in like 2K whatever or WWE 11 or 9 or something was like a whole gimmicky, old timey, ridiculous thing. They ripped off my terrible made up gimmick.
But it's plenty of my gimmicks.
But it's fine because it's enjoyable to watch.
All of them were horrible. They'll never rip off any of my good gimmicks because you can't do that. ECW could have ripped off some of my good gimmicks, but.
And I mean, you'll get the Enzo and Cass entrance, which means, you'll look at your Enzo talk about how you can't teach things.
Yeah.
It'll be fantastic.
You can't teach that.
Can't teach how to spell either.
Well, they probably didn't go to school looking at them. No, they're great. They're really fun to watch too. I like both.
It's going to be fun seeing the crowd reaction. The crowd will be heavily into the match, and that alone makes them more enjoyable.
Yep. Yeah, it should be good officiating. All in all, it should be a good match. And it also continues to elevate that tag title to matter swing, which is something you need to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, having more than 2 teams competing for it constantly,
well,
that does a lot.
Well, and it's just, I mean, right now, I really, in my eyes, this is a title that matters. And they're starting to rebuild the IC title.
The IC title is probably the one that has the most. It's got the most people actually actively trying to compete for it.
Yep. The heavyweight championship and how things change. We'll get to that here shortly, but and then you have the US title that is in a kind of
on a
shit
pre-show.
Yeah.
The women's title is kind of doing things, though. I have some issues with that. Will be coming up here very shortly. But I mean, that one probably has, honestly, the women's title has the shortest road to go to actually being relevant again.
Yeah, but I think this helps go that way. So, what's your call on it, Guy?
I think Enzo and Cass will get the win. but I think the Dudley Boys will come out and it'll be a 4-way scrap, and we things up to a 4-way tag match for the title.
Okay. Then we'll go Vuad Villains. Because I just feel like Enzo and Cass are already super over. Vuad Villains getting in there makes more sense.
I'm gonna go Vaud Villains because of Dudley Boy's interference.
I thought about that too.
That ultimately, I think the Vaud Villains gain more having the straps on them, or not having the straps, having the title shot. So, if you decide to put the straps on them, which I could see, the thing is I could see whoever comes out of this getting the straps, maybe in a cheap way, but getting the straps.
Well, and that falls too, because like, standard booking, more often than not, your titles should be on heels.
Yep.
Because then it's something for people to be striving to. You get the payoff of them finally wresting the title away from the douchebags that nobody likes.
Yeah.
And the Vaudeville would be the heel group out of all this.
Yeah.
Which is why I think they take it and they actually go and actually get straps off New Day.
Yeah, I agree.
New Day's over, you don't really need them with the titles anymore.
No.
And I mean, they won the titles in the first place as a heel group. People were pissed off to see them get the titles, and then they won them over with them actually getting to be themselves.
I think what you do is ultimately, I think in Enzo and Cass, Dudley Boys, Extreme Rules makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my opinion on it. So, we will move